Welcome back, students. We had finished with projection of lines chapter, the chapter previous to this one. Now we are going to start with a new chapter, projection of solids. Now the weightage of this chapter is 15 marks. Okay, we know that the theory marks paper is of 75 marks. There will be 7 questions, 15 marks each. Right? Now this chapter, the weightage is 15 marks. There will be one single question. Every time there will be one single question. Okay, question number 3 or question number 4. There will be no A, no B, no C. Just one single question with 15 marks weightage. Okay, and dedicated to projection of solids. Right. Now this chapter is very important because normally if you are able to draw the solution to this projection of solids, you normally get full marks, full 15 out of 15. Unlike orthographic and missing views. Because orthographic and missing views are also for 15 marks, but normally even though you have completed the solution, there are chances that the examiner may deduct 2-3 marks here and there. Okay, but in projection of solids, if you finish the solution, there are no way that the examiner gets an opportunity to deduct any marks. Normally you get all 15 out of 15 in projection of solids. Okay, the time normally that you should take after you have practiced projection of solid, in the exam the time that you should take to solve this problem should be around 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, not more. Okay, it's only a 3 hours paper, so 25 to 30 minutes is good enough for projection of solids to earn 15 marks. Okay, now let me just try to relate it to projection of lines first. Now when we started with projection of lines, there were not, the object was a line and there are not much variety in a line. Okay, but when we talk about projection of solids, here also in this chapter we will be drawing front views and top views of the solids. Okay, that's it. That is what our aim will be. That means the solids will be kept at different positions and you will be asked to draw front view and top view of the solid. But in this chapter, unlike projection of lines, here we have got number of different types of solids, which we didn't have in case of lines. In case of lines, a line means a line with of different lengths. Okay, but in projection of solid, there are different types of solids. Actually speaking, there is a whole world of solids. But for first year Mumbai University engineering drawing syllabus, we have only a limited number of solids, of which we will be asked to draw front views and top views. Right? So what I am going to do is, first I will introduce you to the solids that we will be drawing, the projections of which we will be drawing in this chapter. Now briefly speaking, there are only 2 types of solids: pyramids and prisms. Okay, pyramids and prisms. Now depending upon the shape of the base of both the solids, they get their names. Okay, now here for example, this pyramid, the base looks like a square, so this we call it as a square pyramid, and this we call it as a square prism. Okay, so now, and the major difference between pyramids and prisms is that pyramid has got an apex on one side and a base on the other side, while prism has got bases on both the sides. No apex in case of prisms. That's why you have got an upper base and a lower base. Okay, now there is an axis. Now this axis is an imaginary line which is available inside the solid, and it is always perpendicular to the base. It is always perpendicular to the base. Okay, now apart from that, you have got, in case of pyramids, you have got slant edges. These lines are slant edges. You have got slant faces. Now in case of pyramid, all slant faces are isosceles triangular in shape. Okay, so these slant faces are also called as triangular faces. Okay, then there are base edges, base corners. Okay, now depending upon the shape of the base, the number of base edges, the base corners, the slant edges and the slant faces will vary. Okay, if it is a triangular base, then there are only 3 corners, so there will be only 3 base corners, 3 base edges, 3 slant edges and 3 slant faces. Right, and same thing with prisms also. But in case of prism, the edges are vertical, they are not slant, they are vertical, okay, and the faces also, they are also vertical, and their shapes are not isosceles triangles, their shapes are rectangles, so they are also called as vertical / rectangular faces. Rest all the other names of the other parts is similar to pyramid, that's why I have not mentioned it, like base corners, base edges, axis, the other parts have got the same namings, okay. Now, as I told you, depending upon the shape of the base, there are different types of pyramids and prisms. Okay, let us start with a shape with minimum number of sides, that is a triangle. Okay, minimum number of sides required to make a shape is 3. So, a 3-sided shape we normally call it as a triangle. But there are different types of triangles. There are right angle triangles, equilateral triangles, isosceles triangles, irregular triangles. But fortunately, in projection of solid, triangular base or triangular pyramid means that the shape of the base will only be equilateral triangle. Okay, that means if it is a triangular pyramid, the shape of the base will be an equilateral triangle. If it is a triangular prism, the shape of the base will be a triangular, equilateral triangular prism. So there will be only 3 corners, 3 vertical faces. So there will be an equilateral triangle at the bottom and equilateral triangle at the top. The shape of the upper base and the lower base must be same, right? Similarly, if we talk about 4-sided, the next shape, 4-sided shape. Now there are so many 4-sided shapes. We have got rectangle, square, trapezium, parallelogram, kite, rhombus, all 4-sided shapes, right? But again, fortunately, when we talk about projection of solid, a 4-sided shape can only be a square. Okay, for us, if we say if we want to have a 4-corner or 4-sided shape at the base, it can only be a square. Okay, so we'll have square pyramid or square prism. And actually the diagram which you see they are square pyramid and square prism. Okay. Talking about 5-sided shape. 5-sided shape we normally call it as pentagon. Okay. Here also the shape of the base can be a pentagon, but it has to be a regular pentagon. Now regular pentagon means all the length of all 5 sides are equal. Okay. A regular pentagon. Then lastly another shape which we can have for the base is a 6-sided shape, which is a regular hexagon. So the shape of the base can be a hexagon with all 6 sides having the same length for the pyramid as well as for the prism. Okay, now if we count the different number of solids that are possible in projection of solids chapter as first triangular pyramid, triangular prism, 2 solids. Square pyramid, square prism, 4. Pentagonal pyramid, pentagonal prism, 6 solids. Hexagonal pyramid, hexagonal prism, 8 solids. So far we have seen that out of these 8 solids, 4 pyramids and 4 prisms, we can be given any one of the solid and they can place that solid into any position and they will ask us to draw front view and top view of that solid given to us. So the solid can be pentagonal pyramid, it can be hexagonal prism, anything. Okay, out of these 8 solids, 4 pyramids and 4 prisms, they can give us any of the solid and ask us to draw projection. Now apart from these 4 pyramids and 4 prisms, there are 2 more solids. Okay, and they are also basically pyramids and prisms, but they are slightly different from this. I am talking about, say for example, if the shape of the base is a triangle, we call it as triangular pyramid. Then square pyramid, pentagonal pyramid, hexagonal pyramid. But suppose if the shape of the base is a circle, it's not a sided shape, does not have corners, it's a circle. Okay, so a circular pyramid we popularly call it as cone. Okay, cone is basically a circular pyramid. Okay, but a cone is very much different from other types of pyramids. All these pyramids have got base corners, base edges, slant edges, triangular faces, slant faces, right? But cone does not have any of these. So even though it's a pyramid, a circular pyramid, we don't count it as a part of pyramid. We count it as a different solid. So cone is an addition to the number of solids. So now we have got 9 solids. Okay, 4 pyramids, 4 prisms and a cone. Similarly, like the way I told you a circular base for a pyramid, if we have a circular base for a prism, okay, that solid will be known as cylinder. Okay, see, a circular prism. So cylinder is basically circular prism. Circular base at the bottom, circular base at the top. Okay, it will be a cylinder. And for the reasons which I told you, why cone is different from pyramids, based on the same reason, cylinder is different from these prisms. Okay, and that's why we count cylinder to be of a different category other than the prisms. So we get our 10th solid, cylinder. So all in all, in the entire projection of solids chapter, we have got just 10 solids. Now out of these 10 solids, they will pick up any one of these 10 solids, they will keep it in the position they want, okay, and they will ask you to draw front view and top view. That means you will not be able to actually see the solid. The position of the solid will be described in words. The problem of projection of solids will be in text, like a paragraph, okay, and in that paragraph problem they will describe which solid it is. First of all, they will say that it's a pentagonal pyramid, so you have to first visualize. Pentagonal pyramid means, okay, the shape of the base is a pentagon and it's has got an apex at the top and a base at the bottom. So you have to first visualize what solid it is, okay. Then they will say that this pentagonal pyramid is resting in different this position. So accordingly you have to understand the position and draw the front view and top view of it. Okay. So when you are able to draw the front view and top view of a solid described in a different position, that is what we call you have drawn solution to projection of solids, and that will give you 15 marks, and that takes around half an hour time to draw normally. Okay. Now these notes are whatever I have drawn, they are also available on the website. Okay, these PDF copies of these notes will be available on the website, but still you can just go through this. Okay, after this we'll start to learn how to solve problems or how to draw solutions on projection of solids. Okay.